Oh geez, oh geez. What is there to say? It is Bricks and Banner. Welcome back. I don't even know what the intro is. I'm just rambling. You want to know how the sausage is made? Typically all these intros, I don't freestyle them. I always edit them. I be looking at my phone for notes. I script them. But I'ma just talk. Geez, what is there to say? It's been 6 months. I didn't realize that. That's a lot of time. That's half of a year. That's quite a bit. I think most of you who have been in my DMs asking for the next Bricks and Banner are perfectly justified. That's that's a fair point. I thought it'd only been a little while, maybe a few weeks. It's a couple months. It's 6 months. It's half a year. But hey, we're here. It's a new year. Don't expect a bunch of episodes, that's for sure, but it is a new year, I will tell you that. New year, same Billy. How about that? How you like that one? But yeah, we're here with the man himself. He don't need no introduction. But we're not even on to that part yet. Rob could get the shine in the rest of the show. We're still talking here one-on-one. I don't know what I want to say. I'd like to say that I do enjoy making the podcast. And it was refreshing to be back in the sack, back in the stew. But I can't promise that I will be doing all too many of them. I did pay like $180 to renew my podcast subscription for my hosting service. So I'm still committed. That came around last month, and I was like, damn, I don't even use this anymore. But hey, got a dollar's a dollar. You gotta put it out there. So it's still up. It's still streaming. It would be a lot of work if I were ever to cancel that to re-upload all the files online, like on YouTube to stream or something. I don't want it ever to disappear necessarily. I want this still accessible for the masses. But yeah, that is something. I'll say, if you're listening to this, thank you. If you're listening to this, I already have a long list of people I want to get on the podcast, but if you got ideas for some other people you'd like to see on, how about you send them my way? Maybe some new ideas, some fresh blood in the water will get me excited, and maybe I'll do some more podcasts with people. But yeah, it's a new year, it's a new podcast. I thought that was fitting, and it was due time to talk to my special guest today. So I really do hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening to me ramble. And thanks to you for listening and enjoying the show. So that's it. I've said too much. When you fall off the rails of like doing these podcasts for so long, like I've really just been sitting in my basement not talking to people. And that's been an issue. Like, I don't know how to really converse anymore. I've been saying a lot of ums. I edited some of the ums, but not all of the ums. And so there's still a lot of ums, and it makes me sound like an idiot. But that's fair, because that's actually what I am. So I hope you enjoy with that in mind. And if you like, go on over to the Instagram. That's bricks_and_. Is it bricks and? All right, we'll try that again. It's bricks_and_banter. I was overthinking it. I knew I had the muscle memory. It's okay. But over there will be a wrap-up post. Maybe I'll have a couple images. Maybe I won't. We're going to find out after I upload this. But that's that. We're going to be talking with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Robby. And I'm excited. He's a good friend. He's a good guy. You should go follow him if you're not. I don't know his at, so you'll find it. You'll figure it out. Go to my Instagram, and then you'll find his Instagram. It's that simple. Oh, and I'm your host, Billy Moore. So now that that's out of the way, let's get into the show. And we're here with Robby.G.Lego, Mr. Boz Moger himself. How are you doing, my man?
I'm doing good today, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. This is feeling weird, dude. It's been longer than I expected, but we're
Yeah,
we're
it's
back in the
been a
stew.
while, man.
We're back in the stew, as they might say, and no one better to do it with you than it's gonna be a good time.
All right, much love, dude.
I mean, hey, we might as well just get right to it. So going back, the deep Robby.G.Lego lore. Um, all I know is that prior to the account we all know you by, you had a Star Wars page, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, that was like about a year. I ran a mostly classic Star Wars like haul slash clone photography page, and that's how I got into
Oh
the
yes,
Legos again.
not the clone
Lit
photography.
I bro, I'd sit out there
Throw
and
them in a
just
grass
yep,
pile.
yep. Gotta get like the nicest dirt possible and stand them up there for like 5 minutes.
Hell yeah! I mean, we all start there. It's either Sharpie clones or throwing them in dirt. So you gotta
Literally.
pick your poison. So when did you get into that though? How long?
That was I want to say about early 2020. I
Okay.
made my first post. It was just like me showing all the Lego Mandalorian figures I had because I had just got the Django's Slave One ship, and I thought I was real hot shit because I had a Django
Mm,
figure now.
mm. So this all kind of sparked up as a quarantine hobby kind of deal,
Yeah,
like you diving deeper.
pretty much me just like going through my old bins, taking stuff out of storage because I'd gone through a couple whatever they call them dark ages, but I'd never gotten rid of any of my stuff.
Of course, of course. Little Dark Ages. Great album. Great album. Check it out.
You getting paid for that? I feel like you should get paid for that.
Yeah, MGMT, hit my line. We're gonna we'll get a bill. All right, so unfortunately you had a pass as a Star Wars builder. You know, we've all been there. It's okay.
Yeah.
Um it's but what the reason why you're here is for the modding, of course. And so you had just posted, you did like a Q&A, well, a few
Yeah.
days ago from when we're recording. I don't know when the hell this is getting uploaded. So probably weeks from when you posted this initially. But it was only recent for me that you posted about like it would being a 1 year anniversary for you getting into modding. So how did that come about?
Yeah, that was I had slowly kind of gotten back into Brick Arms through Star Wars and seeing that Brick Arms had, the thing that a lot of people complain about is so many Star Wars options. I love that they had so many Star Wars options. Uh, and so I was just browsing YouTube looking through, Brick Arms whatever, and I stumbled across your modding tutorial and it blew my mind because I was like, holy crap, you can cut these and put them back together in a different way? No way, that's impossible.
Well, it's just like Lego. You could take it apart and put it back together.
Oh my god.
It blows my mind that people actually find that video on YouTube.
Yeah, that I
Like
just, like, stumbled on it.
that it's searchable. Like that
Yeah.
I thought it would only be linked to people on Instagram. Like I'm so involved in the Instagram Lego world that like anything outside of that sounds like an impossibility. What was going back a little before that actually? What was your first sort of introduction to the custom community stuff? I'm assuming it was probably with Star Wars. How'd that go for you?
Yeah, it was, definitely probably Clone Army Customs was the first third party kinda thing I went into, but even soon after that, I was looking into, Eclipse Graphics
Hmm.
just because, of course, they were the website that I went to after seeing that GI Brick was gone, to get Star Wars weapons.
Got you. Got you.
One of my first posts was just the Eclipse Graphics Spectre fig on top of a GTA oppressor build that I ripped off Flickr.
Nice.
And I've gotten a lot of it's funny because when I first started my page, I would get like a lot of messages from friends being like, I don't know about your other stuff, but that post is really cool, Rob. And it's like it's funny because that's a figure I didn't make and a mock that I totally stole.
Directly ripped off.
Not
Did
at all
you
my creation.
did you glance around on Flickr? Like, did you know about it prior to or anything, or you just?
Yeah, I was aware of the Lego scene on Flickr. My brother used to make World War II mocks, and
Oh, no way.
dude, it was so funny because he's like 12 years old making these mocks, and his Flickr comments are full of like 30-year-old men telling him how stupid and inaccurate it is, and it's like the funniest thing. He told me he's like, I quit Flickr because those old guys were just so mean.
It does sound like Flickr. Wow, explored, great shot. and then and then just getting flamed for using an MP40 with the
Yeah. Oh,
wrong
why is that
effect.
5 studs wide, dude? That's so off scale.
5 That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, so you got the brick arms. You got my tutorial loaded up. Um, you had to probably like see through the blur and the pixels to actually understand what I was doing, but that's beside the point. Um, was it just kind of like instantly from there as soon as you started cutting up, it was like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was as I didn't even finish the video and it got recommended to me that I went around my room and I went to find like a razor blade because I was like, okay, I have a couple brick arms. I could at least like try this with
Mm.
something. And I picked up like an AK-12 and one of the Russian snipers and I did the most simple like add a silencer to a bolt action gun, change the scope. It was a pretty jank and rush mod, but at that moment, I was pretty convinced. Like, yeah, no, this is something I definitely want to do more of.
Yeah, I was just looking back today and I saw those e-tape and all that like they weren't too bad for a first mod. They're clean enough.
Yeah, the lighting does a lot of favors for it, to be honest. The fact that it's like a backlit photo, oh man, the lighting on that alone. I think I went back and commented a couple months back. What the
I
fuck
did
is that lighting,
the
dog?
comments are hysterical.
Yeah, I commented, bro, you fell off after this one.
Yeah.
There's a fair
That
amount.
was so good. That was so good, dude.
Fair amount of self critiques in that post if you guys want to scroll down and look at it.
That is a gem. That is a gem. Um, and so really in only a year's time now, I don't want to jump too far. We'll still walk through the process, but within a year of really just dedication to the craft, in a sense, intentional practice, like you've improved in unreal amount. Like seriously, um, do you have what do you feel like the process was for you in terms of improving your modding skills? Were you intentionally seeking out harder and harder stuff? Was it just a natural thing of like, oh, I like this gun, I'm just gonna go and try it? How did that go for you?
It's honestly like a combination of a lot of things. I think again it connects back to the Star Wars page a little bit, and something I learned from doing that was that it's really best like you're gonna enjoy it a lot more if you try and find something that nobody else is doing as much.
Mm.
And that's what something that early on I tried to like push myself to do more was just because like I love all the AR mods and I love all the AK mods and I still do a lot of those too. But I wanted to try and do something different or at least like try and each time that I made something new, step a bit outside of my comfort zone more. And I think repeatedly doing that just helped me get to a state where I was more comfortable. And it's also a combination of like I'm a very very self-critical person. If you talk to me in DMs, you can often tell that. So like for every post that's made, there was a fair amount of posts that got scrapped and I've never felt like too great about posting something that I'm not super super happy in, and that'll lead to me doing it or working on it for like 3 extra days or whatever. But in the end result, I feel a bit more happy that I stepped outside of my regular activities or whatever.
Right, right. That self-criticism is not only like synonymous with anyone who mods, but it's like it's critical for like being able to push yourself further.
Yeah, it's definitely good. You also have to just watch it sometimes because then you'll make something good and you convince yourself it's stupid.
Right, right. You're never able to just sort of actually appreciate something you've done, or it's
Yeah, you
like,
need like 10
hey, I'm.
people to tell you it's good before you're like,
Uh,
okay, maybe it's good.
it's like, oh, I'm. This one made me happy.
I have joy from this.
That's only something I've recently been. Sorry. That's something I've only recently been able to experience is making like completing a mod and being like, wow, that was enjoyable and actually owning this little piece of plastic now makes me happy.
No, literally, bro.
I like the work I put into this. I don't see all the flaws immediately upon glancing at it.
No, 100%. Somebody asked me in the Q&A, they're like, what are the three things that make you the happiest? And I gave an honorable mention to modding because like as much as I can be hard on myself, sometimes it's really nice to just make a little plastic gun. You're like, look at this little silly thing, isn't that nice? And you feel
little,
good. You feel good about yourself.
little silly goofy gizmo.
Look at that, put in a little minifig your hand.
So going back a little bit to what I find that since you mentioned it, and it's something that really quickly separated you as somebody like who's making fast progression, I would say, is that you mentioned always trying to carve out not a lane necessarily, but always trying to push it into something different, something that you haven't seen before. Um, and I find like for a lot of people who I'm sure you get DMs at this point too about improving modding or tips and tricks and stuff like that. And you can
Yeah.
only go so far with being like, well, when you use your glue, use a toothpick to apply it, it'll make it cleaner. Or like do it this way and not that way, don't cut certain whatever. But having that mindset to trying to develop your own style is really at the point where you're going to start progressing a lot faster, it seems.
Oh yeah, I think it also just comes down to when you're doing like the same thing as a lot of other people, it's easy to like fall in line, I guess, you
Mm,
know? Versus if you're in a more different bound, you have a lot more freedom. Like I want to bring up Brandon Satomi,
yo,
and like he with his style, he's given himself no limits. And that's what I kind of love about it is just the fact that he's managed to like carve that lane where he can try something new, post something new, and he's going to get like a great reception on it because that's just the community that he's built. And that's kind of what I'm looking for too is just like a variety of stuff that might not, appeal to everybody, but I want everybody to like it a little bit, I guess.
totally. No, Brandon is such an incredible example of that. But there's a lot of you either love him or hate him, really. Like if you want to just
Yeah.
look at the content wise, not him as a person. Everyone loves him. He's chill.
Oh yeah.
But like when you're looking at his posts, it's like, what in the hell even is that? Like,
I get so stoked on him, man.
how is it 17 brick arms stacked on top of each other, but it actually still like kind of works? Like,
Oh
what
yeah,
the
he'll use
hell?
a barrel as a scope and it fits
Y-
so insanely
It's
well. It's like, wow,
unbelievable.
heart
Like,
usage off the rails.
I cannot imagine myself being able to like achieve half the things he does because, like you've said, like he's actually carved this lane for him to do that where you already know when you're looking at his stuff that the boundaries don't apply here, so
Yeah.
like you're in the mindset to be like, okay, yeah, wow, that barrel does look like a scope though. Like if I posted that, it'd be like I'm gonna get the the 30-year-old World War II fans who are like, well, actually that barrel doesn't look like a scope and you shouldn't
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
That's obviously a magazine loser.
Right, right. But he really has like curated a space and an aesthetic where it's anything goes. It's unreal. It's unreal. I was just talking to him earlier about the stuff he's been doing with the dyed brick arms. I need some. I need some in my life. Those have been just insane too.
Dude, game changing. Absolutely game changing stuff has come out of that. I saw Strange J, I think was the first to get around to modding some. But
Mm,
the potential with like camo wraps and all
yes.
these different color possibilities, it's insane, It's just it blows my mind that something like this huge is was just found out.
Right, right. He's sort of just a prime example of things coming around like, "Oh, wow, I can't believe this has never been, like, seen or done before." So, like, first it's, like, his style, and then second, it's the dyeing of the brick arms and stuff. It's like, how is this huge, like, rabbit hole of potential unfound till now?
Yeah, after like what the modern community, I'm late into it, but it's been around since basically Brick Arms has been around.
Yeah, 10 plus years, of course.
Yeah, and to think that nobody's thought, hey, maybe I can dye this plastic.
Actually, wait, 10 years? What isn't, like, brick arms, like, 2008 or something? It's probably, like,
Yeah, I
closer
want
to
to say
15.
2000. That's when I got into it. Was like 2009.
Oh, shoot, when you first exposed with your brother, I guess?
Yeah, you got that U clip, man. That got me hooked.
Oh, shoot.
Got to
Yo,
give it a U
using
clip.
using the U clips for, just, like, fun, wacky stuff as a kid was
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Just getting to cheat the Lego system with those.
Yep. Put two lightsabers next to each other. Why not? Double lightsaber, man.
They can't stop me now.
Yeah, twice the power.
Twice the power. So going through your post earlier today, I had realized that I was more aware of you than I thought. Like prior to this comment is going to make sense as I go on.
I
Um,
trust you. I got faith, man. I got
yeah,
faith.
yeah, we'll get there. Um, like when you were first messaging me, like I realized I commented on your first post because you tagged me for like the tutorial and whatnot, and so I definitely was loosely aware of you. I would recognize your profile pic and everything like that. But there was a specific moment where you hit my radar was like, oh shit, like yeah, no, Rob, like first name basis, like no, Rob, insane, like you know what I mean. You hit like one stupid week of posts in March. You started off with the Elysium AK,
Yep.
then it went to the Chrome White AK,
Yep.
and then followed up by the UMP, all just in a span of like 1 week. The first week of March, just
Yep.
banger after banger after banger. Where, and I'm not going to try and discredit your prior work, but if you were to show me the Elysium AK next to the stuff that you were posting prior, it was like, yeah, I mean, these are different people,
Yeah.
or
Did
this
somebody take
person,
over his account?
it's like, oh, this is like his first mod, and now like he's been working at it for like a year or two. Like it was such an unbelievable jump in skill between the two posts, and it was at that moment first with the Elysium AK, I was like, whoa, like he really got crazy here. Like that's not thinking it was a fluke necessarily, but I'm like, wow, that's wild. And then you
He actually
posted,
tried on that one.
yeah. And then
No legit.
you posted the Chrome AK like 3 days later, and I was like, holy shit, it's over. Oh my god, it's done. And I only realized just now, looking at it again, that you had cut the gas block
Yeah,
for the that was unbelievable. And it's not only that these were such like ambitious mods, they came out flawless. Like it's not even like, oh, he shot for the moon, like you could see there was an attempt made. It was like, no, he executed them as they should have been done. It was unbelievable.
dude, much love. Yeah, that week, I don't know what was in me. I followed it up by one of my worst posts, in my opinion, that I refused to take down. You
The
have to include this in the slideshow. It's
Is
like
it
the
the
Crack
gem
and Bush
axe?
AR.
Oh, no. What is it?
Dude, it's the Gem Axe is Ardent's. He won that melee contest that I ran, but I
Ah.
had like this Space Cowboy man, and it's like a Type 98 vector mod. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. It's really, really bad in my opinion.
Oh,
I
on the vector?
Yeah, dude, that it's like I make the UMP, I make the Chrome AK, and then I make that. It's like, yeah.
And then there's the instant fall off. He's been climbing back since.
I remember that week just having like some abnormal amount of free time for whatever reason,
Mm,
and all
excess of
those
Adderall.
literally no. But I was feeling, yeah, I guess more self-critical than I had prior to that. When I was modding before, I would, I guess, just like allow a lot of slip-ups, like, like, oh, you're learning, like it's okay if that's
Mm.
whatever. But I was doing the Elysium AK, and I realized like there's a lot of details to this gun, and if I'm sloppy in some parts, then it's gonna kind of just like fall apart altogether. And going back, it's like nowhere near perfect. There's so many things I wanted to change about it, and that's partially why I redid it. But um, I really just wanted it to come out right, which I guess was a new feeling to me at the time, like wanting to have it be the way that it was in my head versus like whatever it ends up being.
I actually totally understand what you mean with that. I sort of felt or recognized that feeling like sometime like 2 years ago, where I realized only after the fact, but prior to it, I was really sort of like phoning it in with my mods, where it's like, all right, how quick can I get this done?
Yeah, just
Like,
knock it out of the way.
yeah,
Put the
just like
post up.
just complete it, just get to the finish line.
Hmm.
And thankfully, like there was enough muscle memory there, like they came out fine enough. But I don't recall what mod I sat down to do, but I was like, I wanted it to really come out good, and there's a lot of moving parts there. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to take my time and really like file them down nicely, sand it, like really polish it up. And I probably spent like 3-4 hours compared to like the 45 minutes on other mods. And once it was done, I was like, oh, Like I could have been doing that this whole time,
Yeah.
and it would have showed.
Dude, it's I don't we gotta coin a name for that eventually, but it's definitely a game-changing moment to realize that like it's almost I guess potential, just realizing that you have the potential to make something that
Hmm.
is what you want it to be and not because I guess you get very complacent when you first start. Like you know that you're not gonna make a perfect mod. So when you don't make a perfect mod, you're like, that's okay.
Hmm.
Or not even perfect, but like a polished one, like not a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
glue
Yeah.
visible and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you understand like, oh, my skills ain't there. I don't got the whatever, whatever. But after enough time where you have that muscle memory, it's like, all right, now I know how to cut e-tape now. I know how to cut apart nicely. It's like at that point there is like that switch that either gets flipped or it don't, where
Yeah.
you either just like, all right, time to pop the addy and sit here for 4 hours and
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 get this
sand
cut
this
clean.
with
It's gotta be flat.
3,000 grit.
Yep.
3,000 grit, no cuts,
The
just
amount of
just
3,000
sandpaper.
grit I go through is embarrassing. Embarrassing, truly. Oh my god.
Um, don't see your Amazon purchase history. It's
Yeah.
only 3 grit. Um, but yeah, there's like that switch that gets flipped. So, all right, it's interesting to be able to see that moment for you, like where it changed.
Yeah, man. It was I mean, I'm looking back at like at the post that followed that, and that definitely did kind of mark a more of a transitional phase of me thinking like, how do I want this to come out? And it definitely took longer for me to get more firm with that belief, with
Mm,
thinking about every mod, but yeah, it was I don't know. I definitely slowed down on posting. I was taking more time to work on it, but you're right. You totally feel better about it in the end, thinking like this is what I wanted it to be.
yeah, and there's especially that feeling of like now it's complete. Like I really did do it.
Yeah,
It's excellent. But yeah, so from then on, I was like, okay, I know Rob. That's my story.
he's on my radar now.
That's my story. You want to know? Okay, I don't know if I should reveal this.
You have to.
This might be stupid. I might cut this. It's going to depend on your reaction if you think it's a silly, goofy thing. If you think this is silly, goofy, we're going to keep it in. But if you actually get pissed, this is a real confession, though. This is a real confession.
All good, all good.
You posted on your story one time about the OK hand symbol and how it
Yeah,
was like
used by
this
white
all. Yeah,
supremacists.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Which I had the knowledge of it being just like this troll that was totally blown out of proportion and it wasn't true. And from then on, every time I responded to you, I used the OK symbol.
Dude. I gotta spend like an hour scrolling up through our DMs to find that shit. That
I,
is so funny.
I swear to you, Rob, it was probably like a solid 3 months. Once we started talking like more seriously or more often, I stopped it. Once I, but like there was that grace period of like, okay, yeah, I know you and I interact with occasional stories, or you'll respond to mine. I swear it was everyone.
Dude, you're such a goofball.
I thought it was really funny. But anyways, I wasn't really going out of my way. Like I would use that one interchangeably with other ones, but I was like, especially for you, I have to. I actually told Jackson this. He was the only person who understands that this occurred.
Dude, no, it's funny because I remember like going on such a like anybody responded to that story, I just block them. I was like, I'm not trying to have a debate. Like, just fuck off. I blocked so many people. No, I looked into that because somebody told me it was like that's like a 4chan thing, and it basically is like yeah, the whole thing was a thing that a lot of 4chaners wanted to promote, but then there was still also a lot of people who like genuinely believed it and tried to use it as like a symbol. And there's that I think I posted the photo of him holding it up, and it's like, man, I'm glad that month has passed, man.
No,
Dude,
yeah, it totally originated off 4chan, and it didn't get much popularity until like mainstream media actually went and like reported on it, and then it really started to influence people's behavior, where they were like, then started to use it as that, even though it was never
Yeah, it's like that
intended
whole
or had.
Peppy thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like if like 5 people say it's racist, then it can be racist, I guess, and, like, I don't really know how it works. It's not I'm not smart enough for anything.
No, 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 I get you. Once it was given that label, even though there was really no basis for it, it's like
Yeah, like, if a
then it
couple people
was
use
either
it,
way.
then, it's being used that way.
Sure, sure. It just doesn't have any impact of like the actual origin. All right, we're getting really in the weeds
Yeah.
here.
You
Anyway, I
gotta
just had
cut
to.
this part, but you gotta include the past part. That's
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
as
yeah.
fuck, man.
I loved it, dude. Anyway, I was gonna tell you at the Brick Fair, and then I didn't.
That's so funny, man. That is so fucking funny.
So you keep on modding. Man's be modding. One thing you've only started to touch recently though is painting. How's that experience been for you?
That's been a fun thing to step my toes into a little bit. It's not, like, too alluring just because I guess I feel weird having painted Lego. Like, I did somewhat of, like, an art to camo fig lately, and I was happy with it, but I realized, like, now it's just painted, and I kinda gotta keep it as is. I don't know if anybody has ever felt that before, but, like, I don't know, I don't feel it when I paint mods. I enjoy painting mods, or at least I'm trying to paint mods more, but I painted this figure, and I just wanna rub all the paint off.
I can't say I know the feeling.
Like, I could use those white legs again on some I know I have, like, 70 other white legs, but now I could have 71.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, at least with figures, it's hard because a lot of the times there's, third-party companies who have,
Mhm.
like, the camo scheme or the exact print you need, but it's just impossible to find, so an alternative is to paint it, and that's what I find myself doing sometimes, but, yeah, I don't know, don't expect to see too much painting on Robbie G or Boz Moger. It's the sad truth.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Boz Moger because that was the next topic. Walk us through your alternate identity here.
So Boz Moger really just started because I wanted a place to post, things that didn't like, I wasn't happy, or I didn't have enough pride in to put on my main page, or at least things that I didn't feel like were, a lot of effort. It was more like desk figs and things just to kill time and have fun. Like, one of my first posts was I cut off half of a Lego pink leg and put it onto the Lego pig. Um, I just kind of wanted to do that, and obviously that doesn't fit too well on Robby.G.Lego next to, like, a bunch of Brick Arms mods. Here's just a half cut up Lego leg, and it eventually turned into more of just a place to post whatever the hell I was feeling. I put all my Brick Fair posts there, which, looking back, those are just still so much fun to look through.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always a quick way to cheer yourself up just looking through the
Oh yeah, yeah.
old years at the con. But I don't, but see you say all that like it's just like a shit post account. But half the time I see a Boz Moger post, I'm like, oh wait, no, no, this is hard. Like this is better than when he's posting on the main. Like what's up with this?
Dude, I don't know what it is. I guess it's like it's all about, like, that self-criticality. I
Mm,
guess I just arbitrarily deem things as, like, not good enough or good enough. And yeah, I know sometimes I am still really happy with what I post. Like, I did a lever action mod a little bit ago on Boz Moger, and I was really happy with that. But it just came down to the fact that I had no idea what to make for a fig with it, and I still wanted to
mm,
post it.
for sure. I sort of understand that same impulse though. Like there's so much stuff that's on my desk that I'll never see a post because it's not like worth getting a background and everything. But
Yeah,
it's still like enough that I want to share it.
yeah. You still have,
Um,
like, pride in what you made.
and having that alt account would be nice, but I have too many, like a disgusting amount of alt accounts at this point. So
Yeah, I feel.
I can't rock another one. It'd be strange.
I had a sales page I had to delete because I had Rob.G.Lego, Robby.G.Lego, and Robert.G.Lego. I had all three variations of Rob Lego, and I was like, too many, man. It's too many names.
Just capitalized on them. The shoot, there was two different thoughts there, and both of them left me. Oh shoot. Hate myself for this one. This
You're all
is
good. Talking about just Bosmoger.
yo. When's Boslug happening, dude? Bosnia lug.
It's so funny because when I first made the account, or at least early on in the account, there were a couple people, a couple guys who had changed their name to like Boz something, thinking that it was like the new Vivo or something awful like that. It's like, dude, it's in my description. I said Boz is not a lug. It's an anagram of my name. Like Boz Moger is just my name scrambled up. Like, and they thought it's a clan tag. Like, this is not Call of Duty, man. Like,
This isn't a COD lobby.
yeah, I messaged them. I was like, "Can you guys like I know I didn't really have to, but I asked them. I was like, can you guys take that? I don't want to be associated with you. Like, I don't need people thinking that we're a part of the same group. Like, one of the guys called me a slur earlier that month, and then changed his name to like Boz something. I was like, what the hell are you on?
Dude, I was like a second away from turning my name into Boz M4. I
That
was
would have
so
been really
close.
funny.
So close.
I
If
would
I
have gone
do
with my alts, changed my name to BM4, held that shit for a
I
very
know that's the issue. Like I didn't want to I couldn't lose my current tag. It's perfect. But yo, if I ever make the alt, it will be Boz M4.
That's
Um
perfect, man. You have permission. You get permission.
thank you. Thank you. I get the Boz pass.
Stop.
I'm still so pissed that I forgot what these other things I was gonna say were. Literally give me a moment. Just give me a
You're
minute.
good.
I gotta figure out what they were. They were two good strands. So speaking about the painting and painting on figures and stuff like that, um, you made a funny comment to me one time, we were like in a voice chat or whatever, but how difficult it is for you to like make figures or like conceptualize combos and stuff like that. And ever since then, I have become more critical of your figures. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like see what you're doing. But do you have any thoughts on that? Like, why do you feel a certain way about that?
I think it honestly is just because I've always felt like, without a better term, when I started modding, I had that click of like, I love this. This is fun. I want to do this more and get better at this. But when it came to making figs, I've never, and I still really haven't had that emotion of like, yeah, I like making figs. Like this is what I'm doing it for. And it really is like, if I can think of a fig for a post, I'll make it. But usually it's more about the mod to me.
Mm.
Dude, my dogs are going wild. Fuck off.
That's all right. That's all right. And I remembered the thing. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch the audio around. I'll have to edit this more than I wish to. Billy from the future here. Funny to think I was gonna edit that. I've always thought would be really funny to do with like alt accounts and stuff is I've always wanted to make an alt account and not say it's me and post like decent stuff like but different backgrounds like intentionally trying to um yeah, just make it more deceptive that they like can't tell it's my posts. Like I've dreamed about this for like years and years now. I don't know if I'll ever do it, but
No, that's the move. And I vaguely wanted to do that on Boz Moger, but then I also wanted to post the Brick Fair post, so I said fuck that. But no, just going like very stealthily, not and if anybody like says like you kind of remind me of Billy, you just have to adamantly deny it. Like who's this Billy guy? Like who are you talking about?
see, that's fun. Like that's a very funny way to do it. I was thinking the best route, like if you want to be like, oh yeah, no, I just love his stuff.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I
Yeah,
take so much inspo from him.
huge inspiration. He's what got me into modding. Like I feel like that'd be the really like if I really wanted to long con it instead of just making a quick joke. It's like, yeah, no, Billy's like huge inspiration. I'm commenting on those posts from my page.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
you gotta like share your own posts. You gotta
yeah,
reshare your own shit for like months.
yo, this guy came out of nowhere. He's crazy. Like,
Crazy.
that is one thing that kills me. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna throw shade at everybody right now.
Yeah.
Reposting your own post onto your story. That man, if I don't,
You brought that up before as a peeve.
dude, if I don't catch it in my feed, then it's not worth me seeing.
It's not meant
It,
to be.
it's not meant to be. If nobody else reposts your post for you, it's not meant to be, bro. I'm not supposed to see it. I'm sorry. Instagram won't let me. I don't need you reposting it too. Because matter of fact, whatever you reposted on your story, I already saw it on my feed. I don't need it twice. Come on now. So it's weird. I don't like it.
I guess it's just that you're one of few people that I guess has like a working feed because I never see what people actually post on their own page. My if I ever click like the home button, it's always just like some accounts post from 12 days ago. It's never like the actual recent post in the community. So I rely so much on story posts. But at the same time, I'll be reposting my own stories, be like, that's embarrassing, Robert. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't. I really like the story reshare feature because like I'll find most of my stuff from just going through stories of what people are
Yeah.
really like into right now. Instead of having to scroll through. Although mine does relatively work, like except for all the ads and the suggested posts.
Yeah.
Um, but but the only gripe is when like you yourself repost it. It's like, what are you doing? You're
For a while, I was just posting the animal pics. I was like, well,
those are worth it.
I'm not exactly alluring people with the mod. I got to go back to doing that. I got to post the last slide, reshare that only.
I'll tell. That's acceptable. I will accept
They'll
that.
take that. Okay, we've come to a good compromise. I feel
This
like.
we can agree on this. That's actually something I've loved about your page, and it really just shows not that you don't take things seriously, um, but it's a good reminder of like, hey, we're kind of just having fun in the community. Like it's
Yeah,
not serious,
yeah, it's
and
like a fun little hobby.
that's something I struggle with because like at this point I've put so much time into like the photos and whatnot to make like a curated image of like, okay, these are high quality, that to steer away from that is like, oh, but like everything, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's why I would like an alt account, but that's all beside the point. I just like that you when I scroll through your page, it's really just like, man, this guy just enjoys the hobby and he's just sharing what he's doing. Because you could go to a post and it's like 5 posts in, you're seeing your favorite mod of the mix, and it's like, this should have been the first post, or this should have been a post all by itself. Like, how the hell did I get 5 different like sick ass mods and a dog pic and a meme in one upload? Like, what? That I really enjoy that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's the animal pics, I guess, have definitely become like one of the staples in my page or whatever. And I love it, man. I love looking through my camera roll and thinking like, what's the silliest picture I can use, man? What like how stupid does the cat look in this photo? That needs to be a slide. And it's great too, because I tell my friends about it who like the actual owners of the cats and stuff, and they genuinely get like excited. They're like, oh my god, I made it into this one's post. Like my good friend Ryan,
Yep.
Garfizzle 12,
Yep.
he
Yep.
to this day, like he's mentioned a couple of times how happy he is that like his cat has made it into the Fortnite post. The
It's
Mark
epic.
7 and Grappler, that's his dog. Oh, I love his dog. I love all his pets. They're great.
A real honor. A real honor,
Oh yeah.
dude. So after a while of you modding, you're in the community a bit. There's also another community. There's the Discord community, which I oh my god, I've never talked about nuking the server.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So we might want to rewind a bit and I guess cover the fact that the basement is gone and Strange Jay's empire rules over the desolate wasteland.
Oops. Whoops about that one. That was a
Oopsie doopsie.
I will not apologize for my actions. Um it it had its time in the limelight. It needed to be done. Actually, I do want to apologize. I didn't realize because I was so out of the loop on that server. Like I hadn't checked it in like months. Um, where I just kind of expected nobody to be using it. Like I didn't think people actually cared about the server. And for the people who were moderating with me, like it was just kind of like a nuisance. Not just because, yeah, it's how it was. And they both knew I wasn't putting too much care into it, and I can understand why their feelings were like, "Yo, what are we doing here, man? Uh,
What's going on?
what are we doing?" And it wasn't right for me to just put the burden on them to manage it. And so, anyways, yeah, I got nuked. So there was definitely it seems like a black hole in the community which Strange Jay's planet came to fill, which I only joined super recently, and it was odd to find that it's like exactly my server.
Bro, he carbon copied that.
It was like it
Control
was
C, Control V it.
it's literally like I was in the uncanny valley of it's like it's everything I know, like this looks like it but it's not at all. But hey, I'm perfectly fine with that. Good
Yeah,
luck to
it's
you,
great
Jay,
to
with the
see that it's
server.
active. A lot of people are in there sharing mods and talking, yelling about CB's latest release. Like, it's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. If Jay didn't have that server, where else could he complain about all the CB drops?
Exactly.
Um, love you, Jay. Love you, Jay.
Well,
Well, that was really the entirety of my Discord experience up until recently was checking my server, the Citizen Brick one, and seeing Jay either saying, "Oh, this drop sucks," or "When is Joe reprinting the 3D glasses?" It
when
was
is
one of the
modern
two.
military, man? Where's
It
the
was
modern military?
it was one of the two. But anyway, yeah, Discord. It's been such a difficult platform for me to like get accustomed with. Only recently have I started checking it more, but so yeah, you're on the Brickarms Discord. You were a moderator. How did that come about?
That came about a while back through a previous moderator had stepped down after, I guess, a bit of a controversy surrounding that guy, Dr. Xbox Live.
Right, right.
And that had, at the time, the server wasn't that big, but it had left a pretty big gap in moderation just because he was pretty active, and he threw my name in the ring for whatever reason, and I said, sure, why not? I guess. How bad could it be? How bad could
How
it be?
bad could it be? Well,
Wow. There's a lot of children in the community, so it can get tiring. Man, no, I mean, I really I enjoyed my time as a moderator on that Discord for sure. And I mean, I eventually became pretty laxed on it and
hmm,
wouldn't check it that much, or at least as often as I used to. But eventually at a point it just became very I guess very time consuming for where I was with school and with college. I hadn't failed trig at that point, and I was trying not to fail trig, so I tried to get off Discord a bit. It didn't help, still failed trig, but
rip.
I was trying to be able to focus a bit more in real life.
Yo, but the mods you made while you were failing trig, phenomenal.
Dude, yes.
Worth every second.
Oh yeah. I gotta retake that over the summer, man.
That sucks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, should we say it?
I think,
Should we
yeah,
talk about it?
it has
Is
to be at least brought up.
is it time?
I think it's time.
Now, it would have been funny to make this huge expose podcast that's like the first podcast back, like just been inactive for 6 months, and then like while all the drama was commencing, just drop a podcast just talking about it all. As entertaining as that would have been, I think it would have been entirely disrespectful of both parties involved, who I have connections with, and it got messy. It
Oh
did
yeah,
get messy.
it was spicy.
I guess we should actually fill in for if you are somehow listening to this and don't know what is being discussed here.
Yeah.
Um, the drama that unfolded on the Discord because of Brick Arms dropping Eclipse Graphics as a reseller. Um, I'll tell you, I've never been on Discord more than that. That was a fun time.
That was a great promotion for the Brick Arms Discord server.
That
I don't
is
think we've
true.
ever had that many members join in one day.
It was wild. It was wild. Popcorn in hand, just kept on scrolling.
The
The
amount of
movie,
popcorn emojis.
it did not stop. It did not stop. Um, do you have any particular thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I stepped down basically as that began, not as a director. Like, I didn't step down because of it, but I stepped down because at that point I'd already been very inactive as on the team, and I knew that I just didn't have it in me with school and everything, and just within like my own personal life to be a moderator at the time. I couldn't deal with it.
Mm.
So I stepped down pretty quickly after that. But that whole situation was really weird to see. I guess just because it felt very reactionary from the community.
Oh,
Um,
totally.
like I think people really wanted there to be like a clear bad guy, and because of that, it just became like a lot of yelling at each other. I don't know. I hate to be like sound like a daddy and be like I was disappointed, but I kind of was disappointed to see how quickly like all these people who normally talk to each other just fine, like yelling at each other over it and just being, I guess, very very I at least to me how I felt like dramatic about the situation.
Yeah. It really caught me off guard how quickly and how, like, out of control it got. Like, I was not expecting such passionate reactions about, like, a business decision. Like,
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was huge. The Will left the Discord. The owner of the Discord left the Discord.
yeah.
It was big.
And look, I'll be the first to say, like, I'm very disappointed that, I can't get all my brick arms from Eclipse Graphics anymore. Like, that was my go-to.
Yeah, same.
Um,
I didn't really buy brick arms anywhere else.
and I do think that, um, what everyone who was super reactionary about it got right is the fact that, like, Vic was the guy for it. Like, he was the go-to. He made sure to stock everything. He put special effort into stocking if there was ever a request. Like, literally, if one person requested, like, "Oh, hey, you don't have XYZ on your in stock. Could you get that?" Literally within a week and a half, like, that was on site. You know
Yeah,
what I
and I
mean?
mean, there's a lot of other great resellers out there, but none of them had that like level of, I guess, dedication or at least interest in it. Like Brickmania has a whole bunch of brick arms too, but their main focus isn't like on that, or it's not really one of their main focuses. And you really saw that with Vic, with that, like you said, that dedication with like 1 to 2 weeks. That shot in the dark request was on the front page of the store, and that was amazing to see.
Totally. And so it was nice, it warmed my heart to see people, like, recognizing that, like, because I know how much Vic puts into things. Um, and so it was nice to see, like, everyone rooting for him. But very quickly after that, it was like, okay, like, this is wild now, though.
Yeah, this has just become like personal attacks and like vague threats over plastic. Like, calm down, man.
Right. And I totally understood, like, where, like, I couldn't understand why everyone was so bent on Will's decision specifically. Like, it does sort of make sense. Um, And I think some of the information became iffy, and that's where, like, the Discord drama really started to pop off,
Yeah,
is once the record tried to get straightened that, um, like, the messages were deleted and everything. It was 1984 all over again.
literally 1984.
Those are some of my favorite memes to come out of the situation, but, like, it's it's entirely logical from Will's perspective of, like, okay, yeah, like, this is sort of a conflict of interest at this point. Um, like, whether or not, like, you actually even agree with that, it's just like, yeah, no, I could see how 1 and 1 equals 2, like, from his perspective.
Yeah,
Um, and it like, I figured, like, you see that sort of announcement, and it just kinda gets left there. That's why, like, the everyone being so passionate about it really took me aback. I was like, "Okay, this is interesting now." Like,
I think it was also like the live stream announcement made people really, really on their feet. I guess
that might be true. That might be true.
just because that got like everybody there at the same time. Like it wasn't information that trickled that much. It was like all at once. Everybody find out right now, or at least not everybody, but a lot of the more vocal people in the community,
Sure.
or
Yeah, no,
people that are like talking in the Discord and stuff.
that could have been it. That could have been it. And I thought it would like, it absolutely would have died down within, like, the day or 2, and then every, like, all the messages started
Yeah,
getting deleted when Vic was trying to chat in Discord and, like, basically calm everyone. Um, and I don't I'm not here to comment on, like, why they were deleted or whatever. I think it was all, like, nonsense. But after that, then it was like, okay, now there's 3 more days of the Discord burning down. Like,
yeah,
as soon as that occurred, it was like, oh shit, it is not over. It should have been over, and it is not
nowhere
over.
near over yet.
Wild times, wild times. But yeah, I guess that's that. Um, that was a situation, that's for sure.
It truly was a thing that happened.
I can confirm it did occur.
That was a thing that happened on the Brick Arms Discord. Yes.
But I think in summary, like, I'm not a messy bitch, but I do I do appreciate the tea. You know,
Yeah.
I like the drama. It's fun to watch from afar. I just don't like to partake. So, hey, it was a wild time. Actually, you know what I will say in conclusion though, it was sad to see that it kind of forced Will to leave the Discord and even possibly, like, kind of retract himself from the community. That is an unfortunate consequence because it was cool to have that space at first where he was, like, posting stuff that didn't even make it to, like, his Instagram story.
Yeah, I mean, it totally depends, I guess, on when you're posting this. And I know I can't talk about too much at all, but there's definitely more to come with Will in the community, and he is not stepping away from like having a place for the community to talk to him. There's more to come with that.
Awesome, awesome. That's cool. Yeah, no, that's really good to hear, actually.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, no, I wish I could talk more about that. I wish I could talk more about that.
No, I totally understand. That's fine. Keeps people guessing, keep them on their toes. Something to anticipate.
Oh yeah.
But all right, moving on from there. The next biggest controversy in the community, your ARG game. It's got all the boys talking in secret chats trying to co-conspire and crack the code. This is something you had briefly mentioned to me, and I love the idea. Certainly inspired by online ARG games such as like Cicada 3301, which
Yeah,
I
that was the
was
main inspiration for sure.
just a huge fan of. I had loved learning about that. It's such an interesting, just an interesting, cool like internet novelty.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know what that is, like please look it up on YouTube. There's like super cool docu series about it that are like really in depth,
Oh
and
yeah.
you feel like you're like an online detective like going through it. It's great. It's super cool. But yeah, take it away. So why did you decide to do something like this?
Yeah, so the Plastic Hunt 2022, as I've deemed it or whatever, really stemmed from me looking through my brick arms bins and realizing like I have a lot of stuff here that's cool, but I'm never going to use it, and I kind of want to give it away. Just around the same time I had hit 1,000 on my main page, Robby.G. But I wanted to make it, something different. We've all seen a million contests, I guess, and like a million different things like that. And I thought about what's a new way that I can give away just like a stupid amount of prototypes. And I thought of this one video on Cicada 3301. It was made back, I want it maybe 2015 or 2016. It got posted by the user Lemino, and he goes in through all the steps that you need to that people went through to solve it. And I realized like I want to try at least to make something like this, but with the end goal just being plastic. Like the end goal of Cicada 3301 is somewhat unknown. It's kind of
Mm,
suspected to be like a way to hire people into cybersecurity. Like they're looking for the best people that they can hire. Like at one point,
yeah, it was
Sony did something similar.
yeah, just a really elaborate hiring process and
Yeah,
vetting system.
exactly. Like, okay, if you can get past all this, then we'll probably hire you because
Yeah,
you're
like
obviously qualified.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
obviously no way that you could have looked this up or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so I didn't go anything nearly as complex as Cicada. They had like locations in real life that you had to go to. This is all online. All you need to solve it is really a computer and a stupid amount of time. But it's been fun. I checked the other day on the subreddit that I made for it. I don't know how this is possible if it got cross posted somewhere else, but the original like first step that you get after translating the or after solving like the binary code step,
Yeah.
that photo is at around like 5,000 views or 5,000 people have opened it,
Oh wow.
but 4 people have gotten past that first step or that second step.
Oh no way. Okay.
So that's I guess
I'm not one of them. It's
yeah.
very disappointing.
I don't know. I guess I made the first step or like the early step too hard, but that's been a bottleneck for sure. There's been one group that's got past that and they're stuck right now. They're stuck at the last step actually. I'm
Oh
pretty sure that
really?
yeah, if they beat it within like 15 days, I owe them $50, but I'm hoping they
Wow.
don't beat it by 2023.
Wow. Okay.
That's
I didn't know they gotten that far along. That's awesome.
yeah, they got a good amount of progress. I have to credit one of their members for being an absolute scoundrel. He sent about 40 people down the wrong path. He yeah, he like made false leads and an insane amount of people. He made like a fake review on the Inspector Gadget like Common Sense Media page that says to message Blade Junkie for further instructions. And then he would just respond to them with like some gibberish IP address and YouTube link. And there's like people in the Brick Arms Discord server like Guys, who can get past the YouTube video? I'm stuck there. And it's like, there's no YouTube video, guys. There's not a single YouTube video in this entire ARG, and you're all stuck there. I feel so bad for them because I want to be like, guys, you've been swindled, you've been conned, you've been deceived, you know. But I guess if they listen this far into the podcast, they'll find out and feel kind of stupid. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. There's no YouTube video. There's no IP address. Blade Junkie's a liar. He's a con man.
Oh my gosh, I love Luke.
Dude, he's so funny. He
He's
messaged me because
wild.
he would just message me all the screenshots, like as he was doing it. He would send me like 4 messages a day of him telling people to go watch this fucking video.
That's incredible. That is
It's just so
incredible.
funny. It was amazing. It's like, and I to be honest, I was kind of hoping that somebody who was participating in the ARG would be throwing out those false leads, because that was a big part of Cicada too. Was like, is
Mm.
this the right path to go down, or is this a path that somebody else has made for me to go down?
No, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about
And
that.
people definitely fallen for that.
That is excellent. All the love to Luke. If you're not following Blade Junkie, you got to go check him out.
Oh yeah, great guy.
Incredible guy. You. I was gonna. I can't say that. I was gonna joke. I was gonna say even though he's British.
Yeah.
I can't put that in the podcast. I
George is
know
gonna unfollow you, bro. You can't.
he would appreciate it, but I can't say that. Oh my gosh. So so you'd mentioned just a little bit before that you hit 1,000 followers, and if time serves as any, wow, okay, that's a stupid way to say that. Never mind. If the past is any way indicator of the future,
If the sands of time hold true,
what I'm saying is, sorry, I'm really caught up on the ARG game. If you want to actually decipher this podcast, you're gonna have to do a skip code. What I'm saying is, your your Star Wars account, you totally ended and just ghosted it. Never started posting again after breaching 1,000 follows. And Robby.G.Lego is in a dangerous place right now because it is just past 1,000 followers. Are you gonna ghost us as well? Is it over? Are you gonna just quit at this point? Quit while you're
it,
ahead?
it's funny, but like it's a bit of a worry to me, because when I made my Star Wars page, I just had that thought in my mind of like, I'm gonna get like 1,000 followers means I've made it. Like, I'm officially a Lego Star Wars Instagrammer if I have 1,000 followers. Jesus. But like that's what I thought at the time. I was like, if you can hit 1K, if you can get 4 numbers on that freaking tab, then like you're successful or whatever. And then I got to that goal and I realized that I had no other possible goal for the page. Like, I didn't care about further growth or getting to 10,000 or seeing that number be a 5-digit number. It was just like, oh, okay, I did it. Like, I did it.
I love fake internet points.
I
It's
know,
great.
like, I got too many internet points, but I kind of just like lost interest, truly, because a combination of reaching that milestone and also realizing like the Star Wars community is so expensive and so toxic and angry. Like, I can't keep doing this.
Hmm.
And so then I went onto my Brick Arms page, and when I made that page, the other like phony goal in my head that I made was that you have to surpass the amount of followers that you have on Robby.G.Lego, which at the time was like 1,052 or whatever. And like 4 days ago, I hit 1,057, and now now it's like, geez,
Time's up.
I gotta find something new to motivate myself before I drop Robby.G.Lego.
So that's interesting that you had sort of a goal when you started things. I never really thought about it in those terms.
Yeah, it's kind of just an arbitrary milestone that I set for myself, I guess. It's truly just pulled out of nowhere, just a number that I gave myself to be like, okay, that is success,
Mm.
like or whatever. Again, it's totally
But
like
Rob, I
makes
thought the
no sense.
success was the friends we made along the
I
way.
know,
I
and
thought the
honestly, like,
success was the mods we made along the way.
I've thought about a couple times, deleting my account,
And
not to
restarting.
yeah, not to leave my like the community, but just to like start again, because it
Grind it
really
out.
isn't that much about the numbers to me. I'm definitely like I've been conditioned. I get that dopamine when I see the number go up,
Mm.
but um, I still get like so much happiness and like joy from the community, just from the people that like you said, like the friends I've made along the way, and just the comments of like Anthony calling me the middler. Like I lose it every time. There was like I swear to God, a seven post streak where he would be the first person to like my post, the first person to share it, and the first person to comment and call me mid. It was oh man.
If
I love
Robby.G.
it for
Lego
him.
has 10 fans, I
Dude, somebody responded to that comment like a week ago. Was like, "Wow, you really don't like Robbie G, huh?"
That's great. That's awesome.
No, yeah, I really don't see myself going anywhere, truthfully. Like I had a feeling in my gut on the Star Wars page that like this is it, I'm done. I really don't feel that with modding. It's still something that I have a lot of happiness in, and most importantly, there's so many like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 guns that I haven't made yet, so I have
Most
to get through
importantly,
those. Yeah,
most importantly,
dude, once I run out of Modern Warfare 2 guns and
then
Black
it's
Ops 2
over.
guns, you need to start worrying. Like, start sending me inspiration immediately. Once I make that post that's like, hey guys, I finished up MW2, like, oh my god,
Get this man another game. He needs.
send this man inspiration.
Yeah, it is funny though. The fake internet points do sort of carry weight. As silly as it is, it's like the goal was 1,000 or whatever that is, but it does sort of mean something, and
Yeah.
it especially does change how people perceive your account. Like it is weird that if people look at my account at this point, they're like, "Oh wow, you're like whatever," or like if I respond to somebody, like, "Oh, I didn't think you were gonna respond." It's like I got yeah okay, but my like I'm just a normal person in the
Like, I'm like a
community.
guy. Like, I'm like a dude, you know
Like
that,
what?
right?
Just because the fake internet points are big? Like what?
Like, you are not BM4. Like, you're Billy. Like, you're a guy.
They didn't care who I was until I put on the profile pic.
Until I put on the underscores, man. Like,
until, until I added the underscores. I was just BM4.
oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh.
No, that's I guess if I can hijack this for a second and ask a question to
No.
you.
No.
How do you deal with like that pedestal, I guess, people put yourself on? Because that's something that I am like awful with. I physically like cringe when people I see like a Discord conversation and they're like Robbie G's a modding god. I'm like, oh, I shrink down in my chair, bro. Like, how do you respond to like the BM4 fan page and these like people that
Oh.
how do you respond to that? I guess that's my question.
I respond the same way you do, really. It even feels icky to bring it up.
Yeah,
Like
you feel like a guy, like you feel like a normal person.
I enjoy discussing it with you in this one-on-one setting, except I am cognizant of the fact that other people are going to listen to this and hear me talking about like, oh, he has a big following, and that part makes me feel yucky. It's like I don't even want to discuss it in those terms. It, like I only mentioned it because like it's a funny conversation to have with you, but I know that to a wider audience, like that seems almost like self-serving or something, or like I'm trying to brag on myself, and it's not that at all. It
No,
is
I get that. I get that.
it's a very weird um
Just a weird feeling, man.
yeah and it's charming, like it is humbling when it occurs, but at the
Yeah,
same time
it's
I
incredibly
still
humbling.
shrink back. It's like no. Like
You're like,
it's
that's not me.
no,
You're
like
making
you're
me blush.
wrong. It's not that. I don't know, I wish I had a deeper thing to say with that, but I just I like
It just helps to
Lego.
know
I
that
like
like I'm not
cutting
alone in
bricks.
that, man. That I'm not like the only guy over here that's like squirming in his chair, freaking out over it.
No, totally. It's very strange when you get like a Russian 13-year-old boy who DMs you and he used Google Translate to send the message. And he's like, and you just reading it, it's, wow, very cool figure. I like you very much. Thanks for your post. You are my idol. It's like, what?
Dude, it's so funny
Are you
because I started getting messages like those recently.
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. And you just respond like, "Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you to say." And they're like, "Wow. I never thought you would respond. You want to see my mod? It's like, yeah, sure. I'd like to see your
Yeah.
mod. I want to see what you did. Like,
Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to
yeah,
see it.
of
Send
course.
me your mods.
Why'd you even ask? Just send it. Like, whatever. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Um,
It's nice, man. Because you know you made them like so happy, and you're just over here like shitting, or you're like on the toilet going
yeah,
through
literally.
DMs.
Yeah, no, I'm
Like,
either like shirt off, laying back on my
yeah,
couch,
you're like
like
about to go to bed.
flicks on the background, or it's like I am literally taking the crap of my life right now. Like, there's no in between. Oh, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't have much more to say than that. There is like, yeah. I just you don't want to. I'm done. I have no more thoughts. I'll cut that bit. I'll cut the
No,
stutters.
that's great to talk about, man.
No, I appreciate you asking. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I don't know if you actually. This might have been before your time, like in the community, but something I'd posted. I put on my story. I was at like this camp thing, and this girl found out that I have, I think probably like 4,000 Instagram followers at the time, and she was like, "No way, you have 4,000 followers on Insta?" Like all whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like really blown away. I show her the account. She's like, "Oh my gosh, that's you!" Like it's so stupid.
yeah.
This makes it sound like she was into me. That wasn't the case, but um, and she's like, "Oh, would you repost like my thing so I could get like follows or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it, but you have to buy me ice cream." And she's like, "Okay, sure." So she
Yeah.
bought me ice cream. I reposted her account. I'm like, "Boys, this got me a free ice cream. I'm sorry for the story spam." And now it's just like a duck face selfie of this chick, and she all the comments are just Lego boys being like weird. It's so wild. That so in conclusion, that's that's everything the following has ever done for me. That was me exploiting my fan base for monetary gain.
Dude, ice cream, that's free ice cream, man. It's worth it. It's worth it.
The ice cream was good. I think I got cookie dough,
Let's go.
so that was a huge win at the time. Um, I this is one like speaking on a little more though, because I don't know if I'll keep this bit in, but I have considered the same thing you have with just deleting the account, starting over. Like the numbers are nonsense, whatever. I just want to be with the boys, and
Yeah.
then I would totally just start like shit posting. Like who cares?
Yeah.
And it would be fun. Um,
Put like a photo of your feet in between mods.
yeah, totally. Like I if I really did restart at this point, it would totally be like it would be worse than your account. It would be all like
Cosmoger off the rails.
yeah, Boz M4 would be insane. It's actually 90% shit post, and then not even 10% Lego, maybe 1%. Like it'd be off.
You got to
But
reserve that name before you publish
it,
this.
it'll oh that's true. I should actually. It'll be just 10% like schizo posting, like 80% memes, 5% Lego, and 5% feet. But um the weird thing about it is though, like that imaginary number that people see when they look at your account does mean something. And now, especially with the podcast, it's given me a lot of valuable notoriety to get guests on. And it's like as much as it's like fake and like nonsense and stuff like I don't want to believe in, it does entirely change people's perceptions of you.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird thing. And especially since like I'll have people reach out um or like I've not like a brand deal thing. And it's like in general, like these are people like I've already talked to and like are just friendly with, but how much quicker they are to be like, oh, okay, let me send you stuff. It's like, oh, what? Okay, sure. Here's my address. Don't send me anthrax, please.
Yeah,
Like,
please don't.
but like that's a really weird thing that after once you got like 4 digits on your page, and a high first number, because like at this point, like everyone, like you see 1,000s sort of commonly,
Yeah, for sure.
but people like really do conflate those things of like, oh yeah, you're worth something now. Like, oh, let me send you this. Like, if you post on your story, that's
And
cool or
there's a
whatever.
status that goes along with it, and I'm with you, man. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's also like you can't exactly just start fresh because then you're like a 20 follower, 200 follower account asking like Joe Citizen Break to get on the podcast.
Right,
And if
right,
you didn't know him already, like it's like what he's not gonna look at your DM probably.
right. No, like I'm trying. Like, for instance, like I'm trying to get Steve from Tiny Tactical on,
Yeah.
um, and it might be. See, I don't know because I had to reach out through email since he doesn't use like Instagram. Like, it's almost even more difficult in that way. Like, that's like a true cold call. Like, there's none of that influence or notoriety behind it. It's really just like, oh, who's this random kid? He's got a podcast. Like, oh, what is he? He just posted on YouTube or something. Like, you know what I mean? Um, it's a strange thing. It's strange. Like,
Yeah.
it does matter as much as you wish it wouldn't, or at least personally.
No, I'm with you 100%. Man. It's just that there's a lot of weight that those like internet numbers hold.
Yeah, wild stuff. Living in the real metaverse. Um, well, going back quite a bit now, just into general modding talk. Um, you showed me a technique at Brick Fair that had me aghast. Um, Essentially, to describe it, you take a razor blade and you dig it into the brick arms as best as you can. This strategy is ideal for just clean, straight cuts of like a large quantity of plastic you want to get rid of. And then you proceeded to smash the table with a heavy object aimed down on that razor blade. And to my amazement, it actually worked really well. The cut was incredibly clean, and you just hammered away and you jammed that blade right through it. Um, I couldn't believe my eyes. This is gonna be a twofold question. A, I want to know how you came up with that. And then B, you recently were sharing around this picture of like a chopping table that essentially does that. It takes away the big hammer.
Yeah.
And you purchased this, and I want to know how that's been going for you.
Yeah, okay. So I it's the hammering strategy as I call it or whatever really stemmed from the me working on the Chrome AK mod, the Chrome
Okay.
overmold.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So at the time, I wasn't even going to the gym. I was a very, very, very fragile little skeleton man. And if you've ever tried to mod Chrome, it's a real pain in the ass. It's a very, very hard material to cut through, and the blade slips on it constantly. So normally I could try and if I had like a hard cut to make, I would kind of hold the razor blade with like my hoodie and press down through that to be able to put more weight onto it. But the chrome was just such a hard surface to do that I had to think of something else. So I grabbed a pair of pliers next to me and I tried to just hold the razor blade in place and I banged the crap out of it and to my surprise, it broke off very cleanly and I was like, okay, this is an idea. Maybe I should do this more. And after a lot of trial and error, I kind of got into the swing of it. After a lot of finger cuts, mostly, man. There was a period where I had a band-aid on at least two fingers at any given time. As soon as one finger would heal up, I'd cut the other finger. But over time, it's helped a lot, especially with the two-tone AR, like the receiver swap and
Yes.
stuff like that. There's no, at least in my opinion, there's no other way to make that cut. You can use a razor saw, but you're gonna lose a razor saw's width of material doing that if you cut through like the body or the receiver.
Hmm.
And so having that straight down or hammering method allows you to, at least in most cases, have like zero waste mods, meaning there's like not a bad side or not a bad cut that can't be used for something else. You can just save that for a different thing. But to answer the second part of that question, it's an interesting piece of technology. It's called I think it's called the Northline, the Chopper II, and I want to say it was Will who messaged me and told me about it, but oh, I'm blanking right here. Sorry.
No worries.
It's like a machine that takes away the hammering and makes it a lot more, I guess, safe.
Yeah, there will
It's
be a
yeah.
photo in the wrap up for people to look at this thing, but
Oh, yeah. It's an interesting piece of technology for sure. It just recently went on sale on the manufacturer's website. It was like $80 on Amazon.
use promo code Robby.G at checkout.
Yeah. Dude, I gotta get a promo code for them. The amount of people I've told to buy this by now, like, it's crazy.
I'm waiting for Anthony's review. I might buy it. It would have already been purchased if it was cheaper. That's for sure.
Yeah, that now that I think I wanna say it's around 50. At the time that I got it, it was around 85. I probably wouldn't have bought it at 85, but it's still definitely useful.
Hmm.
Um, Will mentioned that he uses it when it comes to the simulated overmolds or the stuff where
Yeah,
he just cuts stuff and then puts it back into the injector.
sure, sure.
Uh, this is what he says he uses for it, and it's definitely come in handy with a lot of cuts. The fact that the razor blade is so well secured really means that like you're not going to get a cut that's angled, which is
Mm,
just
that
such
is
a
big.
time saver.
That's big.
It's also like I don't know. This probably sounds stupid. It's like double sharp. However sharp a normal razor blade is, this is like twice that. It is an insanely sharp blade, and you really don't have to worry about it breaking because again, like the fact that it can't flex means that it can't like snap. You know,
Mm,
you go through so many razor blades normally because, or at least with me and my hammering strategy,
yeah, no,
because at one point you hammer it at the wrong angle and it goes like snap. You know, move on to the next one.
yeah, yeah. That was something that took me surprised when I really tried to give it a shot. Is that it just obliterates the razor
Yeah,
blades?
you go through 100 pack of razor blades. I think it took me 2 months to go through 100 razor blades. I
That's
just
nuts.
recently
Yeah,
had to pick up some more,
yeah, yeah. That's
and
nuts.
that's a lot. That's like that's a
That
lot
is.
right there.
I bought a pack of those 100 razor blades like 3 years ago, and I'm only just now coming to the end of it after giving away probably half of them at Brick Fair.
Yeah,
Like, um, going back to it though, I'm just hoping that Anthony doesn't like it, so I could buy it off him for like half price.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
really going to be the move. Hopefully, he doesn't hear this. That I'm going to scam him. But going back to the two tone ARs. If I ever start posting again, I'm just going to look like a Robbie G fan page because I'm obsessed with that look, and it's something for the reasons you mentioned, really about how it'd be so wasteful to sort of make that cut, and getting it that straight would have been such a pain that it was just not really thinkable. To do something where the lower receiver and upper receiver were like mix match like you could on a real AR.
yeah.
Um, and now it's not only like entirely possible, it's like simple to do. And I'm obsessed with it. I've been doing it in my off time. Never to be posted, but yeah, I want to get the chop saw just so I can make more of those. It's awesome.
Dude, no, it's great to especially to see like the reception when I finally got around to posting that like short tutorial. There's a lot of people who mentioned like, man, I should try doing this. I should give modding another try again. Um, there was one guy it might be Onion Frank or something, but he had mentioned that like that tutorial had helped him get back into modding, and that made me really happy because I was like, oh wow, look at that! Like I'm literally BM4 now. I'm doing what he did to me.
It is it is full circle like
Yeah,
that.
man.
That's actually one of the not to get back onto that topic again, but my favorite part of it all is that I find like so many people who would be like, "Oh wow, like you're what exposed me to the community," or like you were my favorite, you're what got me into it, whatever. And A, that's like really sweet, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But then B, now I'm reaping the benefit because I get to see all these super unique posts that like I'm in love with from someone that I was able to swindle into getting into the hobby, like unbeknownst to me. And that's like such an awesome feedback loop of like the way the community works, where one person's inspiring, like the big accounts are just as inspiring to the little accounts as little accounts are to, um, the bigger accounts. And that was actually a poor term, but just people who might be not in the community as long, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's another thing is it's amazing to see how many people are still like coming into this and are still hopping
Yes.
onto it, like EJM and Prim Slim and all those guys who are like less than three or so months into the community
And just
and they're
blowing it
already
away,
innovating. Yeah,
blowing it away. That actually has been, it's always been on my mind after being in the community for so long. It's like, okay, when does the train ride stop? Like this has to like
Yeah.
plateau and then fall off. Like it can't just keep growing, right? But it's only continued to grow. And that does blow me away. And modding is only made such an intense comeback from like Flickr days. It kind of died off for a while, and now there's so many people who do it, so many interested in that community. Um, and it really is remarkable how quickly people who are new to posting can like get a grip on things and start turning out not only like high quality but like unique content, like stuff that, like you were kind of saying earlier, just is a unique style, something you're not
Yeah.
seeing much of.
They're innovating, they're trying new things like Prim Slim and his carved handguards on his AKs. Those are
Oh
really,
my
really cool to
gosh,
see.
those
I
are
enjoy those a lot.
unbelievable, unbelievable. I want to say, you started messing around with the sprues too now recently. How's that been for you?
That's been fun. I kind of went all in on that because I'd wanted to make an op for a long time,
Yeah.
and I was staring at the collection of sprues that I've amassed, and I realized you get so many. If you buy a lot of the Brick Arms modular stuff, you realize that you eventually end up in a massive collection of olive, dark tan, and black sprues. Way too many, like way too many. And so I took out one of the olive sprues from the modular pouch series, and I was just slowly cutting and sanding it away with been using a nail file for more sanding when it comes to just like rough stuff,
Hmm.
and trying to get that blocky shape to it. And it's definitely something that I enjoy. Like as fun as it can be to try and look through like the part spreadsheet and look through your collection for possible parts to use, it can also be fun to effectively just whittle down plastic into the rough shape that you need. Um, it's definitely something I want to do more, but it's something that scares me to some extent, just because you cut off a little bit too much and you got to start all over. You
Yeah,
know,
that's rough. That is rough.
and with modding, I guess there's a bit more leeway to that. Like you can kind of mess up a cut and you can still save it.
Yeah,
Uh,
or you'd use a different one. It's
yeah,
like
or
you're
you use a different
starting
one.
not from zero.
Yeah, but you
Um,
mess up a sprue carve, especially if it's like a swirled sprue or something like that,
oh,
then you're like,
mm-hmm.
oh, okay, well, that's down the drain now.
That's a one of one.
Yeah.
Didn't you use it on you used it for the EBR, didn't you? For the handguard, I believe.
Yeah, the EBR handguard, I want to say was just a that might have been I'd use a fair amount of Lego. Been using Lego recently, just like a Lego
Huh.
brick.
Okay.
To get
Okay.
like that square, because there's not a lot of brick arms that have rough edges or like
Right, yeah,
more blocky
straight like
edges.
hard angles. Yeah.
Yeah. Like another example was the Elysium shotgun.
Mhm.
One of the it's like the older machine gun mold or assault rifle mold, the Arc. I took the receiver of that and just sanded that down a bunch to try and get the right shape for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I mean that thing's just like a chunk of plastic for
Yeah,
the
it's just a
receiver.
chunk of plastic, man.
Man, okay.
Blocky as hell. But no, it's been fun. I like just kind of taking it slow. Like I'll watch American Dad and just slowly whittle it away with my razor blades. I've been inhaling way too much plastic dust though. I'm sneezing way too much now. I gotta like start using a fan again.
Sacrificing your health for the game.
No, it's fun. When I first started, I would wear masks while sanding,
Uh-huh.
and I would be really mindful of like having airflow. And now I'm like 3 inches away from me sanding on 400 grit paper, just taking deep breaths, just really getting all that in my lungs. Like I should be a bit more cautious, truthfully. Yeah.
Yeah, you should just start smoking to speed it up, you know?
Yeah.
Just double down. Double down on it. That's great. All right, man. Well, we've reached a certain point in the podcast. We're going into Copper Drop.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, it's that time. Yo, I should get some Copper Drop music. Play like a just like really corny like 80s game show music.
No, dude, when you say cop, it has to have like a police siren, and then when you say drop, you have to have like a glass breaking sound.
Glass shattering.
Yeah. Welcome to cop, wee or drop.
That's going to be it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I think we could end the segment there. That's all we needed.
That's okay. We're copping that. Yep.
I'll work on this. Maybe not this episode, but in the following ones.
Yeah.
Goodness. All right. Thanks for giving me more editing work.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, first item up here, we got from K Town, who's been absolutely killing it lately.
Oh yeah.
He made this set of Dune figures. How are you feeling about those?
They're really really cool. I was barely paying attention during the movie, but his print quality is like it's really nice. I just like the Lego feel of it. Like it really feels like if Lego for whatever reason made a Dune set
Mm-hmm.
and Lego actually cared to put effort into the minifigures and like they do in some sets. This is what they would make. It also just seems really versatile to me. Like, yeah, you could definitely use it in a non-Dune post, especially the mask of Timothy
Mask
Chalamet.
face for sure. Actually, speaking of which, do you still need that? Because I'll give you the extra one I have.
Yes, I would. I definitely.
All
I
right,
want to
all
make
right.
like a Bucky Barnes figure with that.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, yeah, I'll send you that. I'll send you that. I actually did cop these. I quite in love with them, and what you were saying about his style is something that's so exceptional. Like the one that's like the quintessential example of it, I feel like, is the peasant figure he made.
Yeah,
Where I was scrolling through my feed and saw that, and I thought it was somebody just posting like a Lego fig. Like I scrolled past it until somebody
it's
else like
funny,
sent it in
dude.
a group
I
chat
first
later.
saw it. I thought it was a Citizen Brick post. I thought it was like,
Yeah.
yo, Citizen Brick is trying something more medieval. Let's go.
No, it's been unbelievable. He plays into that style perfectly.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's great.
All the stuff. He had did a recent night or recent like nights drop for Black Friday, and
Mhm.
they're crazy, so cool.
Mhm. All right. Following up from that one, we have from Mini Bigs. He made the Pulp Fiction set of figures. I know you actually did cop these, but how are you feeling?
I'm very happy with the cop. I accidentally bought the wrong color
Yeah.
initially, so I was so excited to get these that I bought magenta, which I don't even collect magenta, but I thought I did, and immediately realized that I was trying to buy medium lavender. So not the same colors at all. But I got them in hand 2 days ago, and they're really, really nice. The little stand that they included, like that needs to be a staple of all squad minifigure pack
Dude,
releases in the future.
I gotta go look at I know it was like some specific company that makes those. I gotta go look them up because they I want to see what else they make. This thing's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's Rat Craft or something like that. But no, the figures are great. They're just such little nifty suit prints and stuff. I love it, and that's such a classic movie. I love seeing stuff like this.
Absolutely. What there's been a really heavy trend about towards making these like classically styled minifigures. Um and this is one example of it just being like done perfectly.
Yeah, there's so many ways that I guess people can like do it wrong,
Mhm.
and I feel like this it fits so well.
Yeah. It's a difficult style to sort of juggle, but it works. It works. It's a great set. I'm literally staring at them now. That's kind of why my speech slowed. Like they're off on the side of my desk.
Did you get one of the standard packs or one of the
I
misprints?
only just went standard. Yeah,
No, that's the move. The black suits are fresh.
it's so good. All right, final item here. Citizen Brick barbed wire. How you feeling about these?
The Citizen Brick barbed wire, when he first teased that, I thought it was really cool, but I initially was kind of passing on them. But now that I'm at least trying to do more with scenery, it's definitely something I want to pick up. The prices on them is, I guess, what blew me away the most. They're really affordable,
Hmm.
you know.
I mean,
Like,
they would have to be. Like,
yeah, you're buying a lot of them, you typically. But no, they just seem really versatile. I'm super excited to hopefully see them in use at the next con that I go to,
mhm.
as I can't imagine how well it would look if somebody sinks like $80 into these and just fills a battlefield with them. Like I really want to see that.
Yeah, no, or like a real prison with the walls just all
Yeah,
done up.
make the Walking Dead prison, man.
Yes, that's exactly what I had in mind. Actually, that'd be awesome, dude.
I'm in your head, Billy. I'm in your
Yeah,
head.
you're in my walls. Um, Man, I don't want to come across like I'm a shill for everything, but I picked these up only a few just to mess around with backgrounds. And once I actually make a post, it'll probably include them. But they're exceptional. What I wasn't expecting is that it's not like a standard like ABS or something. It has flex to it, so you don't have to go for like a standard. I don't know what the length is, probably like a 1x8. That would have been like the standard length of the connection, but you can totally flex it and bend it to be like awkward connections. It could totally, like, one stud could be like three, like one end could be 3 bricks higher than the other. Like it's
Oh, that's
really
great.
flexible, which was the biggest surprise for me. And yeah, it would have really actually sucked as a product if it was super brittle.
Yeah, that was the disappointment I faced, and I got some brick arms nunchucks in recently, and found out that
Ooh,
the
I
plastic is stiff.
I have done a similar thing. Yeah,
So one of
yeah.
mine has a very slight crease mark in it now, and
Oh
that's gonna
yeah.
be the one I'm keeping, and the other
I
two
I
I'm
am
giving away to
lucky they
friends.
didn't snap. Honestly, yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, dude, I wish somebody told me, man.
That is funny. Um, and I don't know if I should say this, but I know from Joe talking about these, he's told me about these for like a few cons at this point, where he's like, oh yeah, they're in the works, barbed wire, and he's like, I'm excited about them, and I've gotten like so many requests, but these have cost so much money that if they are not well received, like it's gonna be over. Like
Yeah,
he's like, I'm in so deep on these,
I
like the community better love them.
I remember him mentioning, how much of a pain it was to get the big mold. He was like, "Man, I really, really hope they like them."
They need to use these. I think he's like, if I could at least see one good prison mock, it's like, all right, like, but yeah, it's something that's been needed for a while, so it's good to see. Even though it's one of those more like a subtle item. Alrighty, Mr. Robert, we've made it. This is the end of the podcast.
Wow.
How was your experience? How'd you like this?
Dude, if I can fanboy for a bit, it's admittedly kind of wild to be on Bricks and Banner. I know you don't have I've listened to the show for a while, and there's not a lot of guests that are like, "Oh my god, I'm on Bricks and Banner." But it's
They
like,
typically say it
wow.
beforehand.
Yeah, yeah. No, man, I mean, I've been in this community for just a bit over a year, and it blows my mind, like, how welcoming and how supportive, everybody is, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to be on, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely no. I mean, it's been an honor to have you on. You are quickly climbing the ranks as, if not one of the best modders out there, certainly one of my favorites. Any final thoughts for the listeners?
You gotta have Bosmoger on for the next show.
God help us all. I could not. I could never. Bosmoger and Hayden episode dropping
Oh
soon.
my god, yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not ready. All right. Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, much love. Incredible.
And hey, I think that wraps it up. Thanks again to Robert for joining me for such a lovely podcast. It's always a great time conversing with you. And thank you, the listener, for making it all the way through. Was it that bad? Was that an intolerable hour of your time? I hope not, but at the same time, maybe I hope so. If you enjoyed it, though, the one thing I would appreciate is we're back. We came back with a new episode. Repost it. I want to see it all over Instagram. I want it to spammed in all of the stories that I can't, get past it. Just like all good posts. They're just get obnoxiously into your face. In a good way. So share it on Instagram. It's at bricks_and_banter. There will be the wrap-up post. Spread the love. God bless. See you, boys.